Well, I have some drum samples in a folder here. I'd like you to help me pick out the best drum samples to put together the perfect trap drum kit. Let's start with the kick. I'll play it again. What kind of things do you look for in a kick for a trap drum beat?
The complete opposite of that. That was not it.
No, this isn't working. What is it about this drum sample that makes you want to steer away from it for this particular application?
Well, if we're trying to make trap beats, we need some trap drum. That don't even sound like a trap drum. That sound like a New York drum, like a sample old 70s Kanye drum.
Gotcha.
Not a down south trap drum. That's, you know.
It gives me that vibe too. Is there anything in particular you hear in the actual drum sample that makes you think this isn't right for the application of trap music?
Well, yeah, I mean, it sounds like a sample for one. I clearly can hear there's a hi-hat on top of the kick. Beef that you need though, it's real thin.
So it doesn't have the knock that we need.
And we're not even looking for a knock. We're looking for beat. That's the whole difference between trap music and the rest of the music out there. Like some Jay-Z or like some old hip hop, that's knock. New York people talk about knock a lot, but in trap you looking for that beat.
Okay.
You don't hear trap people be like, oh, that's knocking. Like, no, they be like, that's beating. Like, I hear a little bit of wobble in it, and that's not what you're looking for in your trap beat. And also, it's not, these kicks that you're playing aren't in the right frequency range as a kick that you would want in a trap beat. Your trap beat, you want your kicks to hit like right at 100 hertz, 75, 80 hertz. That's where you want the meat of your drum to be at, not 10,000 hertz with these hi-hats. The 808 in your trap beat is more of a rumbling, but your kick is gonna give it that punch on top of that rumble, which is gonna give you the effect that you hear in most trap beats, which is, you know.
Awesome. So is that part of the reason why this sample is so simple? Because it doesn't seem like there's much going on.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, in the other kicks, it was a lot of irrelevant frequency information that you would not need.
Alright, man. So let's take a look at the 808s now. You're helping us put together the perfect trap drum kit for our beat. I know the 808 is critical. So I'm going to play a few of these. Tell me what you like, what you don't like. What about this 808 for my beat? I'll play it one more time.
Well, I wouldn't advise you to use that 808 because several problems off the rip with that 808. I mean, it's clearly a loud pop in the beginning of it. Unless you want loud pops all through your beat, I wouldn't use that.
Yeah. Just to completely take this 808 off the table in terms of being usable, what qualities is this 808 lacking that it should have?
It don't have that rumble that we're looking for, that low rumble.
I know you make a lot of trap beats, so you know what it's supposed to sound like.
Right.
What makes you, like off the rip, as you only heard it a couple times and you kind of knew that it was more of a pop 808, how did you come to that decision?
I mean, that's just experience, knowing your drums, knowing what the streets want right now.
For sure.
Knowing what's hot. Not saying that you want to make your beats like the radio, but listen to the radio, and then can you play your beat right after the song goes off, and it sound frequency-wise beating like those other songs? Not saying it has to sound like those other songs, like melody and content, but beating.
Yeah.
We talking about bass. Can it compete with that?
All right. What do you think about this 808?
Ooh, that's cold.
This is another good one.
I mean, you can hear, y'all, I'm sure y'all can't hear this, but in here, when he's hitting that, stuff is rattling. Like,
wow, so that's interesting to think about. So if
it's clean.
If it's hitting and it's low enough, things in your studio might shake.
Exactly.
And that might be an indicator that that's the right 808. Is that what you're trying to say?
Great indicator there.
Cool.
Yeah, I know you hear that stuff rumbling.
I do.
Yeah.
No, you're starting to really paint the picture of what the perfect 808 sounds like. Alright, so what about this sample, man?
Ooh.
Wow.
You see?
Yeah, I heard it.
Okay.
Play it one more time.
I may want to make a beat right now.
Yeah.
This 808 in particular has actually been used on a lot of his songs. I got this from Spence himself.
Yeah.
I'm not supposed to be giving this out. Like, you know, this is the 808. When Travis Porter and Roscoe Dash and all that came out, that was 100% Spence. Like, they cash out, I'm cashing out.
I know you like to use the sound effect in some of your beats. What makes you want to choose this sample over another riser?
Really, you could use any kind of riser. It's just about taking your audience from one part of the beat and letting them know that you're going into the next section of the beat where stuff is likely to change. And it'll just, when that thing hits, I drop the beat and it goes crazy. So.
Gotcha. So it rises and then it falls right at the end.
Right.
Let's listen for that. I remember in our Fruity Loops DVD, you talking about how the drop is probably one of the most important parts of your loop.
Right.
How does the rise affect your drop?
It just makes the drop way more prominent, and it just makes it like, it makes the drop be anticipated.
Gotcha.
You know, like when people hear that rise, it's like, all right, here we go, we're going to it, and then it drops.
Yeah.
What I think today's music uses it for is like, we like to use a lot of drums that are like classic trap drums, so that it doesn't, like, when you're listening to beats, right, and you're like, okay, we're going to the next beat, going to the next beat. If you hear the same kind of drums, you're not gonna be like, whoa, what is that?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? A large crowd of fans. They want to hear what they want to hear, not what you want them to hear.
For sure.
You see what I'm saying? You want to make, when you're making beats, I don't know about y'all, but we do this for a living. So when I make beats, I want to make what people want to buy, not what I just so happen to want to make. You see what I'm saying? So I use that because I love that sound personally, but it just gives it that vibe that you want. Like, it's that trap vibe. Everybody knows.